Good evening, Spiritual Collective. So tonight when I felt guided to do an additional reading, I pulled the cards out and I was like, not this energy. But it's okay. We know this energy. We've been through this energy. We're going to get through this energy again. And it's okay. It's okay. I was just like, oh, when the first two cards came out, I'm like, great. Okay. The first card was the Seven of Crystals, followed by the Ten of Orbs. Okay, and I already know what this is. He's staring down at his crystals. He's obviously selling his crystals or selling a service or doing something of service with crystals. Like he wants to see something happen. He's looking down at these crystals. He's like bowing down, like his head bowed down. It's like, when is this going to happen for me? There's a tower in the back. There's people going to the tower, but they are not visiting his area, his service. They're going to the grander temple in the back. There's something more that people are, something that's catching their attention. He's not catching their attention. He has a service that's of value. He's upset. Understandably, like, haven't we been there? Especially if you're a creative person, if you're doing a service, if you're online in any way, if you're doing something where you need to get attention to your services, or things aren't just happening right away. But that's the Seven of Crystals, right? It's about patience. It's about time. It's about putting in the effort. It's about patience. And patience is a virtue, as they say, but patience is really coming in strong here. And again, though, we know we've been in this energy, haven't we? Followed by the Ten of Orbs. Followed by the Ten of Orbs. Heavy, heavy thoughts. You're stressed out because this should be going faster. Why isn't people coming over here? You have such a great service. You have skills. You have qualities. You have a quality service that you're giving, and people aren't coming. People ain't even seeing it. They're over here. They're way in the back. They aren't even near where you're at. Heavy thoughts. Condensation. Always gets condensation with this. The moisture in the air. Heaviness. Condensing upon you. Your thoughts are condensing upon you. And it's making it harder. It's making the patience harder because you're like, okay, I'm trying, I'm putting in the time. What is going on? And again, if you have an online presence, this is very significant because that's how you feel. Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Okay, that happens. And let's just put it out there. Like, a lot of you are very skilled. If you're part of this collective, you've been here, you've been attracted to these videos, you have skills, you have talents, and maybe not even a lot that you're sharing right now. Maybe some stuff that you're about to share, that you've shared in the past, but you've had this, you have other things you have to do. You have a job you have to go to that takes time from what you're doing. It may have pulled you off track, you know, and it's like, you know, you feel a certain way, and I understand. I just want to say that I understand. You have a lot of skills and talents, and even if you're skilled and very talented, you have some really skilled, talented people who fly under the radar, okay? And especially if you're reclusive, okay, maybe I don't come off as reclusive, but I actually really am. I really am. I'm artistic, I'm creative, but I'm also pretty reclusive, and that isn't really the best for marketing, all right? Okay, and that's probably your case too, right? The Eight of Orbs follows this energy, and what really, like, seriously, yeah, the Eight of Orbs. That makes sense. It gets us stuck. All this condensation and this thoughts and this, like, things that aren't manifesting fast enough causes us to be in mental stagnation, causes us our own mental prison. Yeah, unable to move forward because you're surrounded by thoughts like, why should I bother? And you have other things that you have that are taking your time. Your job, that's also draining you, let's be honest. But we need to breathe. You've been here before. We've been here before. I've been here before. There's a way out, okay? So yeah, you may feel this. You need to know when you start feeling this. You need to be able to catch this before it gets to this. You need to be able to recognize this, what this is. This is exactly what I was just talking about. It's that stagnation energy that comes from the heavy thoughts of the why am I even bothering, because it's not getting me anywhere. I have all the skills, but nobody cares. I have nothing to bring to the table because, like, I can't. I've tried. It's not working. That, it's keeping you stuck. Okay, and then the Ten of Flames, it's such a burden. It's so hard to climb up these stairs to get to the point where I want to be. I'm doing it. You still need to do it. Okay, that's the thing. This is the key. You still need to do it. You may slow down a little bit, and that's okay. Okay, I'll just be honest. Like, it's okay if you slow down a little bit and prioritize some mental health. Self-love, that's important. Your mental health, your self-love is important. But don't quit. Do not quit. Okay? Keep going. If this goal is important to you, if this goal is important to you and it feels fulfilling and it gives you some fulfillment, we're talking about this is doing something for you. This is not just because, you know, I picked something, and this isn't, if this is the collective, this is not you. But like someone might be like, well, I picked something that I thought would get me attention to do because I don't want to work a mainstream job, which, you know, I can understand you don't want to work a mainstream job. But this is something different. If this is this collective, this is something that means something to you. So you're going to keep moving forward. It's not something that doesn't mean anything to you. So you're not going to keep going for it. You're going to keep going for it because it means something to you. Keep going. That's key. It's key that you keep going. This is very important. I feel like this energy, it cycles through a lot. You happen to, that was very chaotic. You happen to go through it a lot. Okay, this is meant to come out. Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, ooh. Keep going, keep going. There was a little chaos spill there, and then I'm like, but during the cat, 2 came out. The 8 of Crystals. What? The 7 of Crystals. The 8 of Crystals. Look at this. One more crystal. And he's like successful. He feels more successful already. He's got it in his hands. That's the same tower. Only he's in front of the tower. He's on the steps of the tower instead of being far away. Maybe you just need to change something. Maybe you just need to tweak something up. Maybe you just need to add something. Add this extra crystal. So whatever that is, add something. Add. You'll be able to figure this out. There's something you need to add to what you're doing, or add another platform. There's something you need to do that you just need to put a little bit more work into. A little more energy. With this, keep going. It may feel strenuous, but if you keep going, the next card is the 8 of Crystals. If you keep going, and then I have Luna, the moon, which is an interesting combination. Why do we have the moon? Why do we have Luna? It's a beautiful card. Again, we usually think illusions, we think dreams, we think, this one was tides. I'm getting gravitational pull with this. There's something about what you're doing that'll have a gravitational pull, like the water to the moon. Look at this moonlight and this water, this tide, high tides. There's something about timing, and there's something about magnetic, something about being magnetic. That's going to draw. You're going to draw something in. If you keep going, you're going to draw something in. You're going to be magnetic. You're going to have some kind of force field that's going to work in your favor. Because these came out together. After you keep going. This is what's going to happen. You're going to find that perfect crystal. You're going to add that certain something that's going to make everything fall into place and give you that extra magnetic pull. That's going to give you what you need. The Seven of Flames. Okay, you're successful. This is a successful person, but you're going to have people come at you. When you're successful, you're going to... Okay, we already know this. I know, I'm talking to this collective. We already know that we're going to have people come at us. It always happens. We're not even successful and we have people coming at us. Like, we're not even there yet and we have people coming at us. Left, right, and center. Like, oh, you think you're all that. Oh, you think you're better than us because you're trying to do something meaningful with your life. Oh, how dare you. Get off your high horse. Get off your perch. And so you're going to have to deal with this. You're afraid, too, of this in some way. Because, like, you deal with it already, but you're afraid because you're tired of dealing with it, understandably. But it also means you're in a place of power. You will be put in a place of power. Also, again, there's also illusions with the moon as well. The shadow. Okay, interesting enough. After this, that came was the Ten of Flames, and then the shadow. This leads to the shadow. Doing shadow work. You'll be drawn to the shadows. Maybe for something beneficial. Some shadow work that you need to do. That's going to help you. Okay. Let's take a look at the shadow. There's something there in the shadow that we need to look at that will help us. That's what I'm seeing with this shadow card. To dive deeper into the shadow to really help us. Because we will gain success. We will have a magnetic pull. But that magnetic pull will also bring the haters. Okay, so you have to be ready for that. Blinded to pain. Okay. And you've been through it so much. I'm getting with this image... Okay. You're used to it. You have your scars. You kind of, it's become a norm to you that you don't even really see it anymore. Like, you see it, you know it's there, but you don't really. Also, too, I see that these are flies. I believe these are flies. These look like flies. Let me go ahead and double check because I like to be sure that's what they are. Yeah, these are flies on these scars, these crisscross scars. Also with the web and flies. Okay, catching flies with the web. Yeah, the shadow is drawn to you when you become magnetic. And that does happen for most people. If, you know, obviously, all that happens. That's going to happen. But you're used to it. Artificial heart. This is something you need to work on, too. Maybe acknowledging it more. Maybe acknowledging how you feel pain. Embrace your emotions a little more. Don't be afraid of your emotions, because you have artificial heart here with blinded to pain. So I'm getting this kind of feel like you're kind of avoiding your emotions, even though you are definitely feeling emotions, because you have this 10 of Swords and the 8 of Swords, well, with orbs here in this deck. But that's definitely, these are thoughts, but they lead to emotions. They lead to strong emotions, that you're not acknowledging. Or if you feel like you acknowledge them, they'll keep you in this place. Maybe you need to acknowledge these thoughts and have them work, or acknowledge these emotions and have them work for you. There's something about really diving deep into the shadow and alchemizing that to your benefit. Calling the storm. Once you do, you're going to call the storm. I feel like we're going to find power in that. Oh, yeah, okay. what I'm getting from this image, harnessing your emotions. Once you let yourself feel the emotions, acknowledge emotions, know where they come from, why they're there, alchemize them, you're going to have so much power. You're going to have power to call the storm. You can call upon your emotions for different things. Calling upon your anger, or calling upon your sorrow for certain things, not dwelling in them, but calling on them for certain things that you need those emotions for, okay, in your power, in your magic, in your manifestations. You harness those and throw them to, harness your pain, harness your anger, and throw them towards your passion and your drive to move forward. Like your pain with the people coming at you, your anger to where these people have hurt you. Harness that and throw it into your work and become better. That's what I'm seeing with that. That's very important. You need to do that. I feel like you have a lot of haters, whether you know it or not. Yeah, I mean, sure you do. You're here, you know, but you may have more than you think. I won't cry for you. I won't cry for you. Okay. This is after calling the storm. Once you call the storm, you are in a place of power. You're no longer crying from a place of agony or crying for... it's more of a power. It's more of like a... You're in your power. I'm not going to cry for you. I'm not going to cry. I'm going to get things done. Also, you have people who aren't going to cry for you as well. But I feel like this is more of you stepping into your power. I'm no longer going to cry. You feel your emotions, but you're coming from it in a different way. You're not feeling like a victim anymore. You're feeling empowered. I'm at least getting that from the imagery and what I'm seeing in her face, in her eyes, and the idea of I'm not going to cry for you. That's what I'm getting. Alone in the world, okay? Alone in the world. You may also feel like you've been left alone in the world. You may have been treated, you may have been isolated when you were younger or throughout your life. It may be a theme in your life, isolation, but you also may be comfortable to be alone. You may not have a problem with being alone. There's something about that, embracing being alone. You should probably do that. The child I was meant to be, okay. I haven't gotten this one before. The child I was meant to be with, alone in the world. Again, with the isolation that I'm getting. Some of you may have been isolated when you were younger. The child I was meant to be. I'm getting self-parenting here. I'm getting that you need to, some inner child work. Okay? Self-parenting with some inner child work. Because you probably had a toxic childhood. A toxic youth that you need to overcome, which is also kind of feeding into your life right now, and you need to acknowledge that to move forward. That's going to be part of your strength, is acknowledging that and doing the shadow work around healing your inner child. That's going to be significant for you. You need to do that. That's important. Yeah, there's a lot of healing that needs to be done when this energy steps in, okay? I would get a journal. If you don't like writing, get a video, record yourself. Record yourself. You don't have to show anyone, just yourself, okay? That or journal, something that you recording in some way. Aha. What do we got here? We got individuality. These three fell out. Movement and deceit. Ooh, yeah, I had a feeling. I had a feeling deceit was going to come up. I just had a feeling. When I was like drawn to this deck, I'm like, I know deceit's going to come out probably. With what I'm seeing down here, I'm like, yeah, it's going to probably come out. And it did. But you're still moving forward. Okay, remember with that Ten of Wands, I said you still need to move forward. You still need to go up that tower. Even though it feels like it's a lot for you, you still need to do it. You still need to move forward. You still need to go towards your goal, okay? Movement is key here. Keep doing it. Individuality. Embrace your individuality. There's something about you that's different. You need to embrace that. Sorry, I'm reading burps. I get that a lot when I read. Okay. Individuality. Embrace your individuality. There's something unique that you bring to the table. That's another reason why these deceitful flies, okay, I'm not trying to insult flies. Flies are just flies because they're flies. But these people who act deceitful, they're like these little flies that are feasting on your scars, that are coming out. Again, yeah, people who are feasting on your pain. There's something feasting on your pain, something that's trying to drag you down because they feel that you are doing well, that you're above them, and they don't like that bringing you down. We get that a lot here. Every time you try to succeed, every time you try to build yourself up, every time you try to go for your star or your goal, someone has a problem with that. It's how people are. It's sad, and a lot of us don't understand that because we're not that way, but a lot of people are. It's insane. Like, I had no idea. Well, I had an idea. Like, I know people suck. But I was like, I had no idea on what level it was. Because once I started doing somewhat okay, you know, I wasn't like hugely successful from what I, you know, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? But in their heads, you're more successful than them. And they don't like that. And so they're going to try to tear you down. It's sad. It's sad. But it's true. And we get it a lot here. So we're used to it. It's okay. We're working past that. Key thing for you is keep it original and keep moving. Do some shadow work. Dark Night of the Soul. Oh my God. Dark Night of the Soul. Right when I said do some shadow work, this popped out. Dark Night of the Soul. I kid you not. Readings are insane like that, you know? Readings are insane. But that's right. Dark Night of the Soul. And it says, life brings new meaning. Yeah. When you delve into your shadow, you're going to have to take a look. Once you feel those energies pop in of the 10 of Swords and the 8 of Swords and the 7 of Crystals, where you're just like, why aren't things happening fast enough? Why should I bother? Why should I care? Oh, and then you're stagnant. You don't want to get to the stagnant. But when you find yourself in that kind of realm of things, you need to really do some shadow work. Yeah. And again, that's when, like, it's even worse, because you get the haters all the time, but it's even worse when you're stagnant, because then they can really feed off you. Spiritual evolution. Set your heart free. Yeah, you're going to set your heart free once you do the shadow work and really explore that dark night of the soul. Again, when I said, like, my attention was drawn to this image of the spider web, again, because we had the flies in this image. I'm sorry, I just being brought back to this image about being caught. They're feasting on your scars, especially when you're more in this 8 of Swords, when you're caught in the web, then they're able to really get to you. And then at that point, you're stuck. You're blinded to the pain, and they just keep feeding. And yeah, but anyways, once you do this shadow work, once you step through that, really acknowledge your emotions and know where things are coming from, whether you do this for journal or you're vlogging or whatever, you're going to lead yourself to freeing your heart. It says, set your heart free. And again, we already had that artificial heart. So your heart is mechanical. It's in chains. There's something stopping it. There's something that's keeping it in a state that's mechanical, where you're going to set that free. Okay, you're going to set that free through your shadow work, which you need to do. And once you hit this energy, you have to do the shadow work. That's all you can do to move through it. Keep moving forward. Do shadow work. Know where this is coming from. You got to figure out where this is coming from for you specifically. Could stem from childhood, could stem from childhood and something more recent in your life, even if it's in the past. It could be cyclical, something that keeps happening. You gotta figure that out. okay? Let's see what we get here. It's okay. You've come a long way. You're already doing more than most people do. This energy. I understand why it's coming up, though. Already, I can see how it's coming up. I can see how this will really benefit a lot of people. How a lot of people have a lot of things that they feel are really stuck right now. It's okay. We're going to get through it. You're going to get through it. Ancient wisdom. Okay, there's something here with ancient wisdom. There's something about transversing the different realms, of shedding the old skin, of becoming new, of once you shed this old skin, of once you unlock this ancient wisdom, you'll be able to fly to new heights. You'll be able to see more clearly. You may want to look at some, I mean, I'm sure you are. If you're in this channel, you're pretty open to different spiritualities, earth-based reality, earth-based ideologies, religions. Okay, ooh, okay. We got Realm of the Stars and Unicorn Stride. We get 2 unicorns coming out together. That's interesting. Okay, here we have a unicorn on the amethyst. It's unicorn pointed towards the stars. It's in tune, it's in touch, it's in communication. And then you have Unicorn Stride, which is about movement, going forward. It's focused. Both of these are focused. This one's focused on going forward. This one's focused towards the heavens. This one's more grounded in earth, moving forward. This one's in the heavens, in the celestial realm. Okay, so you're moving forward on both fronts. In the material world, you need to keep it moving, keep it going, and keep it running forward in a focused way. Spread your wings. This is a winged unicorn. Fly. Also note that it's a black unicorn. So again, shadow element as well you can bring into this, but also to also focusing in on the spirituality that keeps you going. Meditation, a spiritual focus here. You could be spiritually focused in what you are doing, what your goal is. Maybe not, but probably there is some kind of spiritual or psychological element to it. There's definitely healing involved through movement and focus. Very important. Those 2 came out together. So, and they're both unicorns. Very focused. Always get focused with unicorns. And expansion and imagination and goal. There's a lot with unicorns. A lot of people with the symbolism. There's quite a bit. But definitely for this, it's about focus and expansion, because the unicorn is moving forward, expanding in the material realm. Its wings are out, getting ready to fly. This one's expanding into the cosmos, into the astral realm, communicating with the stars, with spirit, with the spiritual realm. Okay. Also, too, there's a castle in the background here. So that castle is also like the wealth that you have in the background that is your foundation. You do have some wealth that you need to acknowledge. Okay, 3 more cards popped out. Okay, we have deep inner treasures. We have the mermaid here. Reading burps. Every time, I swear. Okay, we have the mermaid here. She's diving deep and she's finding the treasures within. She's going within, deep within. There's all these aquatic creatures surrounding her. It's expansive, but it's deep. And she's here alone. Well, she's not alone because there's other creatures here. There's fish and stuff. But there's no other mermaids. So she's here and she's contemplating her treasures. There's a treasure chest behind her. But she is in deep contemplation. It almost has like a Four of Cups vibe to it because they're like, she's not really looking at the cups. So there's something about the treasure that's around you that you need to look at, or the treasure within you that you need to look at, okay? All right, we have the spider's web and we have ritual insight. Okay, the spider's web and this image right here with this, with the shadow with the spider's web. This spider, however, is creating a web. And I remember that, okay, so this spider is creating a web to catch in, to bring in abundance, to bring in things to it, right? You know, the spider's web, it's the survival of the spider. But this spider's an artist. And, you know, the spider is like, oh, I need to connect. I'm not seeing, again, it's with this energy right here. This energy right here is I'm not seeing the things come to me right away, and calling out to the universe, the stars and back, like, and getting the courage to spin another web. Because you know how many webs spiders weave throughout their life, you know, and you know, some are more successful than others. You may have to try something new, spin a new web. There's also something about the web, the internet, but also just the web around you, networking. Multiple interpretations of the web, you'll know what that is for you. Networking, communications, the internet, different points on the internet, things that you need to do in your line of work that will help create the whole of what you do and bring things to you. Again, this is also magnetism. I know it's in a different way because it's a spider's web, but you're trying to bring things to the spider in this image. That's the point, okay? So then we have ritual insight. Okay, you need to do some rituals, some prayers, some calls to the other side for guidance to help you move forward. You'll be able to see things differently. You need to get in a meditative state. You need to really go deep, kind of trance-like, and get into those meditative states so you can see the other side, so you can scry into the crystal ball and see what's there for you. You can scry into the fire and see what's there for you, into the smoke and see what's there for you, into the mirror and see what's there for you. There's some communications that if you just trance out a bit and get into that state, that you'll be able to see more clearly when you tap into that other side. That's very important that you get into this state right now, and that'll help really have you develop that insight, but also help you develop more clarity in what you're trying to do. You'll be able to see things differently. It'll help you. So try to look into scrying, try to get into that state. That'll really do a lot for you. All right. Get some intuitive whispers here, because we're going into intuition when we're getting that ritual insight. Again, with this spider and this web, she's calling out to the universe, making her web, her mandala web. That's a mandala web. And then we have the prayers and ritual insight through there. So prayers, ritual insight, meditations, calling out, speaking to your guides, asking for guidance. Spiritual guidance is very important right now. Clear limiting beliefs. You need to clear limiting beliefs. There's some limiting beliefs that's holding you back, that's keeping you in a state, that's helping this 10 of orbs, 8 of orbs energy holding you down. Okay. So part of it is your thought, obviously, is your thoughts, but you need to clear some limiting thoughts. Again, going into that, and going into the shadow and really diving deep will help you clarify what those limiting beliefs are. Trust yourself. You need to trust yourself more, get in tune, okay? The owl here. Again with birds, clear limiting beliefs. Trust yourself. A bird's eye view, flying above. Again, there's an owl in this image in ancient wisdom. Again, connecting to probably some animal guides as well. But again, there's an owl. So the owl's with that clarity, with that sight. Okay? Something there for you with the bird's eye view. Looking at things in a different way. Okay? That'll also help you with clearing your limiting beliefs too. Unraveling. Yeah, something's unraveling. You're unraveling. But things take time. You know, things are unfolding. Things are unfolding with time. You need to have patience. And again, your spiritual practice will help you move your body to move your emotions. Again, move your body will help you with the shadow work. So while you're working with the shadow work, while you're doing the journaling, while you're doing the vlogging, whatever you're doing, also move your body through exercise, through dance. Whatever movement that you do with your body that you enjoy doing, you need to do that in combination with shadow work during this time. Just moving your body will help you also move other things, okay? Will help you move that stagnant energy and get things moving on other realms, on the mental realm, emotional realm, okay? Yeah, gratitude for the past. Okay, here we go with the owl again. Again with the owl, and we have this labyrinth, which also reminds me kind of like a brain almost sometimes when I look at it. With the hemispheres, when I look at it a certain way. Okay, so your thoughts, again, monitoring your thoughts, looking at your thoughts when they're connected to the past. Gratitude for the past and what it's given you, the wisdom that your past has given you, and the memories that your past has given you is all brought you to where you are today and is helping you move forward. But you need to embrace that. You need to alchemize that. Your mind, body, and soul. Again, with this connection with mind, body, and soul. Moving your body, connected to the mind. Gratitude for the past with your mental, with your memories. Getting your mind moving so you can get past this stagnant wall. And your soul through meditation, spell work, prayer, whatever you do to really connect to the divinity, okay? And remember the spider, she's calling out to divinity. Listen from the heart. Again, we've had artificial heart, remember, and we had freeing the heart. We had 2 cards earlier having to do with the heart. Here's the artificial heart. There was one about freeing the heart as well. Opening up the heart. So that's important. If I can find it. It's down here. At any rate, your heart is significant. You're going to free your heart up. So you need to listen to your brain, but also your heart. You need to be heart-led right now. Emotions, your heart. Being authentic. Okay? Following what you love. Knowing what you love. Knowing what's right for you. What you feel in your heart. Okay? That's very important. Okay. Feeling like... Okay, we had a lot of unicorn energy come out, so I'm going to pull from this unicorn deck, and because that's very focused, imaginative, and that's going to help you probably open up to that realm, which is so wonderful and awe-inspiring, that will really help you connect to the other side, and what that might help. What clarity, bringing clarity and imagination to help you solve your problems with any conflict that may be arising. Okay. Okay. So these are what came out. You have courage, flow, and leadership, okay? Courage. Courage to keep going. Courage to move forward. You are safe. For fears and illusion, set strong boundaries. So set strong boundaries, fears and illusion. Keep moving forward, okay? Courage to keep going. Flow. Find an easier path forward. Surrender to the outcome. Release your expectations. Again, a lot of this energy with the seven of, when you catch it as a seven of crystals, is about expectation. When you get kind of like, oh, it's not happening fast enough, and then you go into Ten of Swords, and then you get into the Eight of Swords, and you get all like stagnant and not moving. It all begins with your expectations, and you need to surrender that so you can be more flowy. You surrender your expectations. You just go with what makes you feel good, what you want to do, what you want to bring to the table. You start thinking about what you want to do, what you want to create, what you want to say. Okay, that'll help move things forward. And leadership. Step into your leadership. Share the message and inspire and empower others. Yeah, and then you'll step into leadership. You're a leader. You need to step into this power. It's going to help you do this when you let go of expectations and you have the courage to move forward. And then you have the courage to be yourself, be authentic, to free your heart, to be authentic, to be who you really are, and to shine and move forward and help alchemize your emotions, your shadow side. You're able to do that with yourself, and you're able to help others do that as well. Okay, but this all takes time, and this all takes a large amount of healing. But as long as you keep going and you are able to stop, as long as you're able to see it and really know this energy, which I'm sure you do, because when I saw it come up, I already knew what it was. So once you're able to catch that, then you break out the journal, break out the vlog, break out the audio, whatever you do to record, and do some shadow work. Move your body and move forward. Keep going. That's very important. Keep going. You'll gain what knowledge you need to gain, and you'll step truly into yourself of authentic leadership. And with that being said,